Hello, my name is Tina Lamoreaux, and welcome to Cozy Cat Press's first ever podcast. This podcast was made to introduce you to the authors and the creative process behind the stories at Cozy Cat Press. But don't worry, we won't spoil the mystery for you. Today's episode is about the recent novel Map for Murder, which was published in 2020 by Cozy Cat Press. This rustic story takes place in the Lone Star State of Texas. It follows two best friends, Molly and Janet, as they investigate the events that lead to their friend Marilee getting arrested at a house party. Marilee is the niece of Ray, who is the owner of the Flying Bee Ranch. Events quickly escalate and the larger mystery at the Flying Bee Ranch unfolds. With the help of Molly's brother and a local police detective, the women set out to find the truth about the Flying Bee Ranch and its history. This novel follows a unique format. It was written by 24 authors, each author contributing one chapter. The editor did a wonderful job as the story flows smoothly from page to page and the plot stays strong. It is a light, humorous read with spunky characters that keep you interested in what happens next. Make sure to get a copy via Kindle or paperback from Amazon. And now let's jump into my chat with one of the authors, Mary Koppel. Just tell me about yourself and your literary background.
My name is Mary Koppel. My literary background. Actually, my college major, was liberal arts, was Spanish, and but probably more like Middle Ages literature in Spain, which is not incredibly helpful, but interesting. And certainly, my whole entire life, I wrote. I mean, even starting probably in first or second grade, my mom got me a diary and I started writing. I've always written. And really, it was about 10 years ago, a friend who is another Episcopal priest, and she writes quite a bit and has been, I'd say, fairly successful, kind of roped me into writing really regularly on a blog. Which got us into a little bit of trouble because the name of the blog at the time, which, it seems now you'd kind of roll your eyes and be like, that's not really all that scandalous. But at the time, you would not believe the stuff that we would get because it was called Dirty Sexy Ministry. We would write quite a bit. And then she and I wrote a book together. And then sort of after that, I realized something I really wanted to write. I really enjoy fiction. I love mysteries. Yeah, I'm probably the person, I'm the person purchasing the books at the grocery store. I am not, not very exciting, but I love to read and I like writing, and finally kind of had it took a while to kind of get the courage to say, okay, I'm going to write something and I'm going to finish it, which is really important. And then I'm going to ask somebody what they think besides just me. And then that's just been a delight. It's nice to actually talk with other writers and people who like to write. I've been talking quite a bit with a woman who is a playwright named Rosie O'Neill, and she has been marvelous in talking about, developing as a writer and how do you, and she blew my mind. I was interviewing her and, just had the question, well, how much do you write a day? Kind of like, she's like, oh, well, I write 8 hours a day, which to me explains a lot. It explains why she's as successful as she is.
My next question is, how long have you been writing for Cozy Cat Press?
Maybe 2017 is when that first book was published. 2017, because I started writing 2017, and it's really been a good fit. I think that the publisher, Patricia, who's also an editor, and she's a fine editor. What's so great about her is, and what I really appreciate, is not somebody just going, oh, sure, whatever you have. Oh, goodness gracious. Are you Athena emerging from the head of Zeus? You're amazing. She's so super helpful. She'll look at something and she'll go, that's a little short, or that you need a little bit more in there. And then she'll take something and she'll kind of clean something up. She'll understand, no, that doesn't appeal to people, or, where are you going with this? And initially I thought, oh, well, maybe she's just, she's being so easy on me, or straight up very helpful. And she wants you to succeed. What I like about this group is that Cozy Cat, there to become a better writer, and that your book also be successful too. So I got to say, I really like that. I like having a publisher who's an editor who understands how to write, who's encouraging, and won't just let you get past, look, I wrote 60,000 words. No, she's reading every single one of them.
Have you ever written a collaborative novel like A Map for Murder before?
I've never done that before. The closest thing was the book that I wrote with Laurie Brock, Where God Hides Holiness. We wrote that together, but really it was separate essays and then put together. So no, I've not done it before. It was very exciting though to do it. Like I said, it's a lot like someone's running a relay race, and you grab the baton from them and you hope that you can make it to the next person and hand off the baton so that you don't set it up where the poor person behind you is in misery. You want them to be able to write something that they got something to work with, something to write about.
So when you were all writing it and like the creative process, did you all plan out the novel like from start to finish before, or were you kind of writing it as you go?
There was there was a bit of an outline, like one of the people who wrote gave us sort of an idea of who the characters were. I had a pretty good idea who the villain was. By the point where I was in the book, we already knew what the drama had unfolded, that Mary was in jail. Mary is in jail on suspicion of murder. So I had some idea. I wanted to look a little bit more deeply, kind of as to, why is Mary the way Mary is? Why I might have gone in a more dark direction that with a good editor was edited out.
My last question, which I feel like is the most important one, is did you have fun writing this mystery?
I did. I liked it. I mean, it was a challenge. That's the thing. It's like, okay, one, I had to get it done. And like, there was no lollygag, like, let me think a little more about this. I had to go back. I had to reread everything. And, kind of make sure it's sort of outlined in my head. And then I had to write it and get it down. I'm really glad that I did it though. It's work. And I'm so glad that I did. And I'm really pleased. And what a neat group of people who are writing on it. Some of these folks, they are so, all of them, but they're just so talented. And it was a really good experience. I'm really glad that I did it. What was great was particularly at the end of having the Zoom with all of the other authors. So there you go.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, look, I guess I'll let you get back to get back to schooling.
I just wanted to say thank you again to Mary for chatting with me and having a wonderful conversation. And thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more author chats on Cozy Cat Press's YouTube channel.